Hey, Shawn Clement here from the Richmond Hill Golf Learning Center. And as you can see, right-handed and left-handed swings are not that difficult to make. You know, I take a lot of pride in knowing that if there was a tournament in the world tomorrow where you'd have to play 18 holes right-handed in the morning and 18 holes left-handed in the afternoon, I'd be there in the top 10 for sure. So what that has brought me in my teachings to you is really priceless, because a lot of the things that you will do from the other side, unbeknownst to you at the moment, will really help you fine-tune and secure the sensations that you need to secure to enjoy your golf swing today. Julie, a good student of mine, we had another terrific breakthrough for her in getting her to that next level. You remember the garage door analogy? Well, that was born out of our work together. And this particular video here is the same. So what we went through, we noticed how Julie would do a really nice perpetual motion swing, and then as she got into her golf shots out on the range in her practice sessions, she would notice that progressively her hip turn in the backswing would get hindered, right? It would start reducing in its range of motion, and then at one point was seriously impeding her ability on swinging freely and powerfully to the target. So in our discussions together, I realized that Julie was born and wired as a left-handed person, and throughout the years and throughout her interactions with family and sports, she had to use a lot of her right hand, and she started playing golf right-handed. So because her left hand is her dominant hand, and she's originally wired that way, we flipped her around and had her do a couple of practice swings left-handed and made her aware of what was going on. Because in her follow-through, she had this beautiful clearing action in the follow-through, nice hip turn to the target, and then she didn't realize how good that was. So when we flipped her over, she went into her backswing left-handed and had the most gorgeous hip turn you've ever seen. So beautiful hip turn there, and then swing to the target. So now that she's swinging to the target left-handed, she observes how the body is getting out of the way, and now she's starting to feel what she needs to feel for her backswing in her right-handed swing. Okay? So what the brain can do brilliantly on one side, you've internalized this. It's inside you. All you have to do is become aware of that movement and then perform the same movement in a mirror image on the other side. You'll be amazed at how much fun and how easy it is to translate. It was amazing, the transformation after that. She understood exactly how those hips were supposed to move on the other side. So when you perform the perpetual motion drill, you're swinging back and through without stopping, become aware of how you're swinging in both directions. You're going, wow, boy, that's a nice hip turn going that way, but the hip turn going back is not the same. Hang on a second. Go to the target. Go to the target. All right, now I feel like I've got access to the target. Boy, that's a nice hip turn. Hang on a second. There it is. There it is. Beautiful. So now that you have temporarily instilled this in your swing, you're now free to swing to your target. So this is an important prelude to what you're going to hear out of my next podcast. This is what's going to, they're going to be the first podcast. It's going to be a humdinger too. So once you have the feel in your practice swing, because there's no ball there, an object in motion tends to stay in motion if it's not interrupted by another force. All right? So as you're swinging with no ball to interrupt to, your body tends to continue to get out of the way, and there's a beautiful motion that occurs. If you allow the golf ball to interrupt that focus, meaning, yeah, I'm going that way, but I really want to make sure I hit this ball properly, and I want to make sure that I hit this, coming on the proper plane, and I make sure of this and make sure of that. Complete destruction of flow, rhythm, and instinct. I don't have 20 lifetimes to show you how to play golf that way. So we have to get rid of the insecurities. How do you do that? Simple. Swing to the target with the same awareness as you do in your practice swing. Oh, did that ever feel good? If the ball would have been in the way of that swing, that would have been terrific. Okay, go to the ball. Is the ball in the way of you performing that same release? If I were to release the same way as in my practice swing, is the ball in the way? Yep, okay, good. What was that release like again? Okay, let's do it. And let's not worry about what the results are going to be. I'm just going to make sure I feel that again, period. All right, so snap to the target. Not bad. Not bad. It wasn't quite like the snap. The snap in my practice swing had a little more expansiveness to it. All right, so let's see that again. Give it a great snap to that target. Yes, there it is. That was the release I had in my practice swing. Okay. How was the contact? Not bad. That wasn't too bad. Maybe just a hair off center. But all in all, I didn't mind that at all. Okay, so here we go. Let's try a nice little high fade, that target to that target. So I'm going to release the energy to that where I want to start the ball. Here we go. That wasn't quite out there. It felt a little more down here. So that one doesn't count. Don't even go any further. So let's see if we can do that again. That's the feel I'm looking for. Here we go. Oh, that's the one. That felt like it was blasted right out there. Everything was coming out of my shoulder sockets there. Oh man, that was a great contact. What did I do for that to happen? Well, if you ask yourself that question, you went straight to hell, okay? Don't wonder about what you did right, because then at one point you'll say, oh yeah, it's kind of like I shifted my weight better and I felt like my rhythm was better. So let's focus on slowing down the swing and shifting the weight. Now the target is no longer there. Your wiring is in response to the target. Ridiculously easy video. Remember that? So the only way my body can respond properly is if I have a target in mind. What's the action to that target? Oh, yeah, that nice. Yes, I got it. That was the same release. A little thin, but I'll take that one, right? And then you continue on your merry way in this fashion. Release the target, observe. Don't ask what you did wrong, don't ask what you did right. That will send you into a tailspin of frustration, okay? So, use the perpetual motion drill in your practice swings to gather the feel that you need to feel that big snap. Once you feel that big snap, approach the ball. We're going that way, yes? What's that big snap feel like again? Okay, I got that. I know what that's going to feel like. And don't make sure of anything, okay? Observe and evolve from that. Enjoy. We'll talk to you soon.